Hello everyone. Today we are going to configure a wireless LAN controller and associate the access point. So we are going to configure a WLC and associate the access point and create some AP groups and WLAN. So for the switch, I'm gonna take a 2960 and we need some couple of access point. So let us come to the wireless, and the wireless controller would be 2504 and the lightweight access points 1 2 and a PC. And for the DHCP scope, I'm gonna take DHCP server, and let's begin the cabling. So the first gig port would go with the switch and the second port would go with the server and to the access point, to the second access point. And to get the console access and configure it, so I'm gonna connect the PC and the console cable, so RS232 and the third gig. So this is our topology, and let us configure the DHCP scope over this. So the IP addressing which I'm gonna use is of the 10 to 50 subnet, 10 to 50 5.5, and the subnet mask would be obviously S24, and the default gateway would be of 10 to 50 5.1. Okay, we don't have the DNS server, so keeping it at it is. And if we come up to the services and click on DHCP, turn on the services, and the default gateway that we are going to assign is 10 to 50 5.1. The start IP addressing would be from 10. The subnet mask is correct, and we want 200 users, and the controller IP would be 10 to 50 5.6, and let us save it. So the DHCP scope has already been set. So if you come up to the controller and assign the IP address to the management 10 to 50 5.6, the subnet mask is obviously S24. Default gateway is of 10 to 50 5.1. We don't have the DNS server as of now, so the IP addressing is done. If we come up to the PC and assign a static IP address of 10 to 50 5.7 and the subnet mask of /24 and the default gateway of 10 to 50 5.1, so the IP addressing of the devices has been done. Now if we come up to the PC and from the command prompt, let us try and ping the wireless controller 10 to 50 5.6. So it should be pinging because we have the connectivity and the IP addressing has already been done, so we have the reachability to the controller. Let us try and configure from the GUI. So 10 to 50 5.6 and enter. So it is a packet tracer lab, so it will take some couple of minutes. In meanwhile, we can come up to the access point and plug in the PoE. The first access point has been done, and for the second access point, let us zoom in. Both are light up. Now here we can see that we have the GUI login place for the controller. Let us assign the credentials admin, and the password I'm going to use is viptela@123 viptela@123. So let us begin our GUI controller, and we are going to assign the controller name, which would be of WLC hyphen Reshin, and the management IP would be of 10 to 50 5.6. The subnet mask is obviously S24, and the default gateway is of 10 to 50 5.1, and let us clicking next. Here would be the one SSID that we want to broadcast. So we want to broadcast a corpnet for the corporate users, and the password would be same, tela@123 tela @123. So we have assigned our addressing for and created the SSID, clicking next, and we're gonna apply it. So it's gonna save the initial configuration. So this was our initial configuration from the controller end. So as of now, if we hover over the controller, means the access point, so we don't have the connectivity to the controller as the cap web status is not connected. So let us rename the access point. This is for the corporate, so, and this for our guest users. So let us stop it and let us come up to the web browser back again. So if we hit 10.255.6, now it's gonna take the HTTPS, which is of port 443. Okay, we now landed on the login page of the controller, which would be the actual login page of the controller. Let us insert the admin credential, admin, and the password would be of viptela@123, and we're gonna log in. So we should be landing to the real time environment for the controller. So if we come up to the wireless, so we should see that the access point are being associated. So we now see that both of the access point are being associated with the controller, and they are getting this 11, 10 and 11 IP subnet, and they are all registered. Their operational status is registered, connected by a flex connect mode. Okay, and now if we come up to the WLAN, so if we want to broadcast the SSID, so this would be the one corpnet which is now would be broadcasted over the network. And if we want to create another one, so if we hover over the access point, so we can see that it has the cabinet connect status is connected to the controller. And now we can see the SSID of the corpnet that has been broadcasted. So if we come up to the controller page GUI, so we can see only corpnet has been broadcasted. So if you want to create another SSID that should be broadcasted for some specific user, we are gonna use for the guestnet. The SSID is for the guest user, guestnet. We are gonna hit the apply, and the status should be enabled so that the SSID is broadcasted. And if we come up to the security section, so we are gonna set WPA2 policy, and you will take the AES encryption, and we are going to use the pre-shared key. So let us keep the password as viptela@123. Apply. So another SSID would have been created. So if we come up to the WLAN back again, so we can see that the corpnet was present before, and we have now created a guestnet with the pre-shared key. So let us save the configuration. And now if we hover over the control this access point, we can see that the both of the SSID are being broadcasted. And if we bring up a laptop to connect over the network, so let us click on connect. Okay, so here the laptop is using the Ethernet module, so we are going to turn it off. We are going to bring the wireless module to connect over the wireless network and turn it on over the desktop. Okay, wireless 0, and it should connect to the corpnet. Okay, we are using WPA2, so the password would be viptela@123. Okay, we want it to connect through via DHCP because it is okay. Okay, let us come to the IP address. Okay, now it is connected successfully. We can see that the DHCP request has been successful, and now we can see that the laptop has been connected to the corpnet. And now so if we want that the specific access point to broadcast a specific SSID So we are gonna change it over the controller end so that it can broadcast a specific SSID. So now the guest access point is also broadcasting the guest net and the corp net. So if you come up to the controller and at AP group, so we're gonna create some AP group that would be specifically for the access point that would broadcast. So by default, in the default group, all the access point are in default group are broadcasting all the SSID. And now we are going to create a AP group that is of CorpNet and is for the corporate users. I'm gonna add it and AP group guest. So this is for the guest and we are gonna add it. So if we come up to the CorpNet, okay. So the description is of CorpNet, and if we come to the WLAN, we are gonna add the WLAN. So it should let us click on it. So now for this specific AP group, this is gonna use the CorpNet SSID only. And if we come up to the AP, so we do have two access point, and if we want only the AP group of the CorpNet corporate access point to broadcast the CorpNet, then we are gonna add the access point to the AP group. So this will broadcast a specific SSID for the corporate users, and we're gonna apply. Okay, so if you come up back to the AP group and set the same for the guest and the WLAN section, we're gonna use the guest net, apply. Now we have added the guest net for the guest AP group, and if we come up to the access point group, so we're gonna use the second one. This should be added. Now it should have added. Okay, we have the second access point for the specific guest net, and we are gonna apply it, and we're gonna save the configuration over the controller. Okay, so we can see that now the laptop is connected to the only the corporate network, because specifically we are segmented the access point of the corporate users to broadcast the specific corp net, and while using our credential to get access to the network. So in the laptop we have set corporate, that is for the corp net. So if we hover over the laptop, so we can see that the IP address that has been assigned to the laptop and the signal strength. So ideally we have configured the wireless LAN controller and created SSID and defined the AP group. Now we can see the guest access point, it broadcasting only the guest net. So this is how we configure the wireless LAN controller, and thank you.